Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Office of the Auditor General conference call. I would like to introduce Acting Auditor General Sheila Dodds. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon. I'm Sheila Dodds, Acting Auditor General of BC, and thanks for joining me. With me today, I have Bridget Parrish, Deputy Auditor General, and Lisa Moore, Assistant Auditor General of our Financial Audit Practice. The Office of the Auditor General acknowledges that we live and work with gratitude and respect on the traditional territories of Indigenous peoples. We also acknowledge that our office is situated on the traditional territories of the Lekwungen people of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations. This morning, our latest report was tabled in the House. This report is about the province's audited summary financial statements for the fiscal year 2025. It can assist MLAs and others to better understand how public funds were managed on behalf of taxpayers, how actual results compare to budget, and how the audit process adds value to the reliability of the published financial statements. I want to express my gratitude to the many members of our team who helped to complete this report. I also want to thank the Controller General and her staff for their input. Financial statements aren't the most user-friendly documents. They can be challenging to understand, even for accountants. Yet financial statements are fundamental to supporting transparency and accountability for government's use of public funds. The statements provide information about the financial results and financial health of the province. You just need to know where to look and how to interpret what you find. Our report can help by making the province's financial statements easier to navigate and understand. We call it Beyond the Bottom Line. It was produced to help MLAs and anyone with an interest in BC's finances understand key information in the province's most recent annual summary financial statements. It also explains how auditors have an important role in assessing and reporting on the reliability of the statements. The report takes readers through the key parts of the financial statements and points out what they reveal about revenue, expenses, and the province's overall financial health. In particular, we focused on the statements of operations, cash flow, and financial position. Readers can use our report as a guide to look at the statements and determine that, for example, in fiscal year 2025, the province's expenses outpaced revenues, resulting in a $7.3 billion deficit. Taxpayer-supported debt rose to $102 billion, which was a 34% increase from the previous year, and the annual interest on debt was $4 billion, up 29% from the last year. Our report goes on to explain the importance of our audit. Our audit provides an independent assessment of whether the financial statements are true and fair. The report also summarizes our audit process and why our independent auditor's report included 3 qualifications. Each qualification relates to a material misstatement in the financial statements, areas where government didn't meet generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP. We explain the qualifications so that readers of the financial statements understand what the statements would reflect if government had correctly applied GAAP. There was one new qualification this year. It concerned the province's accounting for the $3.5 billion it will receive from tobacco companies to offset smoking-related healthcare costs. The other 2 qualifications were cited in previous years. They relate to the province's deferral of revenues and how it reports some of its contractual obligations. To sum up, with our audit of the province's summary financial statements, the Office of the Auditor General plays a vital role in supporting the Legislative Assembly in holding government accountable for its management and use of public resources. We hope that this report is useful for MLAs and for everyone who has an interest in the province of BC's financial results and financial health. With that, I'll be happy to take your questions.
For those on the phone, if you'd like to ask a question at this time, please press star 1 on your phone's keypad. If you wish to withdraw from the queue, press star 2. Okay, we have one person queuing up. We will grab their names and they will be able to ask their questions. Okay, the question is from Andrew McLeod. Please go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for taking the question. Ms. Dodds, I was just hoping to get a little more detail on the handling of the tobacco settlement. payment. If I'm understanding correctly, the criticism is that they didn't book it in the 2025 fiscal year, and I think they have done it since in the quarterly report. How much is it a question of how they're handling it? How much is it a question of timing?
Thank you very much for the question. We have explained it in the auditor's report, but I'm actually going to ask Richard Parrish, the Deputy Auditor General, just to speak to the details of the tobacco settlement.
Oh, thanks, Sheila. So it is mostly a question of the timing. Exactly, is that it was when is it time to recognize this asset? And so it was time to recognize it in March of 2025. And then now the question will be more about measurement, which is how much should be recorded. So that will be the next thing we end up auditing will be how much they've recorded, which it sounds like they've recorded this year. But for now, it was the timing of it.
Thank you, Bridget. And I'm just going to add that the settlement was based on a legal decision, and the appeal period had elapsed by the end of March 31st. And so that was the issue with timing. At the end of March, at the end of fiscal 25, the province was entitled to that revenue stream.
Yeah, super. I think that makes sense to me. But I guess I do wonder how material that is. March 2025 versus April 2025 or whatever it was. I mean, it's a few months different. But as a follow up, it may be a bit too specific. But in the public accounts, I've noticed that. From the detailed schedule of payments, they're missing a few hundred pages of payments. It says pending review. And I'm wondering, I've been trying to get an answer from the Finance Ministry for a couple of months on why that is, and I haven't had an explanation. I'm wondering if you have any idea why that might be.
No, I can't speak to that. I can only speak to the statements that we audited, so that would be part of the unaudited information I think that you would be referring to. But I'm just going to go back to the tobacco settlement accounting. And the issue is we are auditing against generally accepted accounting principles, which are the public sector standards that are applied to senior governments. And so based on following those accounting standards, the asset was an asset of the province as of March 31st, so it needed to be recorded in the financial statements for that fiscal year. That was the driver of the timing, is generally accepted accounting principles.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. There are no further questions at this time.
Well, thank you.
As a reminder, if you'd like to queue up to ask a question, please press star 1 on your phone's keypad. There are no further questions in the queue.
Great, thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. I guess that concludes the teleconference.